I need some speed. Tap on the boost button. Oh my. Welcome to Cars in Korea. I introduce newly released Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia cars. And the car I am driving today is Genesis GV70 electrified. So I'll be finding out everything about this car, the drive, the exterior, as well as how it feels going through city roads, and plus, look at that, on highway as well. And this is GV70 electrified. Genesis calls the cars of the electrified at the end as a suffix that the car has been built from the internal combustion engine chassis that's been modified and turned into a full EV. We started seeing that first with Genesis G80 electrified. This marks the second version of that, which is the GV70 version electrified. And in today's video, I'll be calling it eGV70 and eG80 onwards. And one thing that I have found out immediately different from the other eG80 is that you can change your regen brake right there even when the car has been stopped like that. So use the shifter on the right to lower the level of the regen brake. On the other hand, use one on the left to climb up and increase the level of the regen brake right there, as you can see. And when you hit the maximum level, the iPedal light will turn on. And what iPedal is that this is what other brands call one pedal driving, which literally makes you and enables you to drive the car with one single pedal, the accelerator right there. So how it works, just tap on the accelerator and the car will start going forward like so. And take your foot off the accelerator, the car will start decelerating, as you can see. And once you get used to it, you can control the car literally just with one pedal, easy and simple. The HDA has been turned off, but I can manage and control the car with just the one single pedal. And that makes your life much more easier, especially on these city drives. Just look at this color that Genesis has come up with, and living up to the name of luxurious vehicle. What other things would you call luxurious if not for this interior? So the two-tone color has been implemented on the entire cabin of this car, starting with, well, it's literally like divided into top and bottom. Top being this white suede interior, and the bottom being the leather with this beautiful, I believe it was like the deep sea or deep ocean color. So all these together, they flow flawlessly together in the interior as well, even though they are composed of different materials. Leather here, plastic here, silver piece right there, but it all flows really great. As for the regen brake, the iPedal is the strongest and goes down by level 3 to 1 and 0. So 0 is no regen brake, if not hardly any, so you are recharging the battery to the minimum. However, it gives you that smooth feeling of having that kind of a neutral gear on internal combustion cars. What I have noticed is that since we are in eco mode, which you can change the drive modes right here, you can change the drive mode using this lever right here and push it to go back and forth the drive and terrain. But let's go through the drive mode first. So drive mode, push it down, comfort, sport, and that's favorite. You can customize your drive setting, but I was right now in eco, and what I have noticed driving in eco mode is that when you actually tap on the accelerator, the car responds a little slower than I want the car to. You know, it doesn't like pop out. However, it will take its time to pick up the speed and try to fire the car out as smooth as possible. This is probably the mode that you want to have when you have your family fully sitting inside the car, and maybe if you have kids and babies in the second row seat, to minimize that dizziness and provide the best driving experience possible. If that is what you want and what you're looking for, I would recommend that you put the car on Eco and keep the region brake at level 1. By the way, this is just so smooth, so gentle, just such a comfortable car. The HDA2, which this GV70E it has, is helping me out big time driving around in these city roads. As for the steering wheel goes, a typical Genesis or Hyundai Motor Group layout, sometimes the HDA is on here for one model and not for this, but typically HDA related stuff are on the right side, the buttons, so engage, on and off, different modes, up and down, the level of the distance in front of the car, and the steering wheel assist has now been integrated into one single button on most of the Hyundai Motor Group cars. You can just simply tap on that button to engage and disengage. On the left is the volume, the phone related, the media volume key, self-explanatory. One thing that I want to point out, I love this about the Genesis the most, is the volume key, how they operate. You can just scroll through to increase and decrease the volume and push it to mute. The HDA has been engaged. It will keep the car, and just look at this, just driving beautifully. It picks up the speed much faster and much more responsive than the Eco mode. I can definitely feel that. And of course I left it out intentionally, but look at this. This is the boost button. This is solely to GV70E alone. Of course, the regular GV70 does not get this, but what this does is that when you tap on it, just look at that. Boost is ready, so it doesn't, you don't just start using it right away, but it just gets ready. And what I have noticed is that, hey, the bolster, the automated seat right here, the bolster actually squeezes in when you tap on the boost mode. And of course, it takes you back to the original position when the boost mode has been disabled. They're serious about this boost mode, huh? Highway and tight turns here, I actually want to have the car in sport mode. And here, I need some speed. Tap on the boost button. Oh my God. This is nuts. So with the boost mode button, there is actually a countdown. Oh my God. This is just purely insane. All right. This car, by the way, is not a light car, just like any other electric vehicles, due to the nature being having the batteries and all. This weighs over 2.2 tons. 2,230 kilograms to be precise, and that is a heavy car. However, with the boost mode button that we just saw, this definitely feels like the 4.2 second car. I was a little skeptical about it, you see. I mean, 4.2 here, we're talking about Lamborghini Ferrari level here when it comes to the 4 seconds, but Jesus. You can use the boost mode. Oh my God. And guys, this is fast. And you see, boost is already ready again. You can use it on and on and on. And I actually was trying to clock how many times I can use this boost mode on and on with GV60. And you see there's a boost mode again. I'm going 3 times consecutive already. Let's see if I can do 4. Yes, of course I can do 4. and I can go forever and ever. For you to find out how many times you can go with the boost mode back to back and to find out the limit, if there is any, I think you can only test that out on track or track condition like positions. Another G80. So heavily congested, the tunnel condition. However, the car picks up HDA working just flawlessly and fine. I'm quite used to having that narrow rear view mirror with the trunk that is that tiny, and that's because the trunk is quite slanted. Well, it's not going to take that long for you to get used to it. So look at that. So you get the idea of how narrow the rear view mirror is. Genesis GV70E provide with amazing tech such as you can see what's going around your car real time. It really feels like what you're seeing with your naked eyes. The bird eye view, I absolutely love that. And this comes really, really handy when you're actually driving into a very tight parking spaces, underground parking lots. I love that flag type glass right there, and of course right here as well. I first saw this on GV80 and they implemented this flag type glass right here, which takes away the extra blind spot, and literally it could be a lifesaver from time to time when you are pulling in and out of your driveway. You know, God forbid, but if there is tiny children, you know, dogs and cats running around, you have better chance. I mean, you have zero chance when you don't have that, but you have a great chance of spotting one and saving lives, preventing getting into an accident for that matter. I absolutely love that, and I think that looks really, really great design perspective as well. What do you guys say? Because there is no transmission, the car just would go smoothly. Just keep your eye on the road and pretty much the car does everything else for you. You don't really have to drive either. Of course you should. And I also want to show you this beautiful panoramic sunroof that is just gigantic. Just look at this thing. And I actually like the look of it when it is opened like so. Typical rush hour / Friday afternoon here in Korea, Seoul. Probably is the case worldwide, but again, this HDA is a lifesaver. And I want to touch up on the interior as to controlling the vehicle. Despite this GV70E being a full EV, this car did not get the crystal sphere like Genesis GV60 did. I actually love that. It looked really cool. I'll be showing you right now. It looks really cool and also lets you know that the car has been fired up. Beautiful line of sight and super comfortable. And let me show you how powerful the car is. The boost mode right here. And going through some of the tight corners. Alright, the foot brake is quite... I wish the foot brake could have been stronger, and I can definitely feel the car is super heavy. Oh my god, but the power is always there. Watch out for this boost mode and make sure you know what you're signing up for when you press that button, because this will shoot your car out. Genesis has said that the lower the numbers, the more sportier the car is, and higher the number, the more luxurious the car is. As we can see from the G70 being the most sporty car of all, and compare that to G90, which is a full-size sedan that's geared for presidential experience smooth car. This car is exactly and precisely what this car is meant to be. You can also pick up that luxuriousness at the same time. and that is evidently found with and from the boost mode button, the insane mode that I have been seeing throughout today's test drives, but also from the comfort mode and eco mode. We saw how smoothly this car actually would drive. These buttons, essentially the same thing from what we have seen. What is different from the GV70e from GV60 is that it has the terrain mode. So push it to activate the terrain mode, and you can go up and down to change into according drive modes. And that's probably because GV70e is missing the ELSD on the back, which GV60 has. And GV60, thanks to the ELSD, it also has the drift mode. So the car and the manufacturer actually is asking you to have fun and drive the car to the limit. I mean, you see EV car with a drift mode. What more can you say? And actually, from the eGMP chassis, the platform exclusively for EV from the Hyundai Motor Group, I actually did manage to have some fun with Ioniq 5 drifting right there. And also GV60, you can have plenty fun with that as well. Let's hit the boost mode again. Not going to race in the city rides, but just look at this. Just look how responsive this car is. You can definitely have a lot of fun driving this car. I would. Again, not built from eGMP platform. It uses the good old internal combustion engine's chassis. So the charging port is right on the front. You have to park the car right up to the front like so in order to charge the vehicle. So the charging port is right up here on the front, and you can see the good old Genesis diamond pattern right there. And can you spot the difference? And can you tell where and how the port opens up? However, the takeaway is the GV70e also still provides the same charging speed as from the eGMP platform cars. So it will also provide the super fast charging speed, same as the GV60 and Ioniq 5 we see right there. And the charging has been completed. Just look at this, 80% remaining. With that much money, well, it's about $5, and that's 17.9 kilowatt hour. That's charged in 7 minutes. Shout out to this crazy and awesome platform that Hyundai Motor Group has. For the record, the eGMP platform actually delivers from 10% to 80% charge in just 18 minutes. What you see on GV70e is what needs to be done because the car is all electric. So from the back, the muffler has been deleted because there is no muffler. This rear portion of the bumper right here has been color matched to the body color. So no more plastic piece that was right here on GV70. On the profile, it stays the same, the wheel, the calipers. However, when you take a look at this front grille, that is what's evidently different from the GV70. So the grille is completely blocked out because you don't need that much extra air to cool down the radiators and whatnot. And the variable flap is actually located right inside. So you see those flaps right there? They open and close accordingly to cool and provide the air going in the condition of the car. The sensors here and the camera and the charging port right here. The GV70 electrified borrowed the platform from the internal combustion car model. However, Genesis has built it from the ground up into a full electric car. So this was the case with the first electrified version of the car, which is the Genesis G80 electrified. But since the battery sits low right here, the car has been boosted up, but it's not that much of the case with the Genesis GVE. So when you open up the door, you won't really see that much of a difference in terms of the ground clearance when it comes to the profile. And it goes the same. I just did that, but the trunk button is not there, but it's actually right here. It goes the same with the trunk compartment as well. There's not that much of a sacrifice in terms of the trunk volume, even though this car is loaded with the batteries underneath. And this is the V2L, sits right on the trunk instead of the second row or inside the car, but it's sitting right here, and you can lock and unlock with the key. 12 volts with a 180 watt right here. And gently fold that away. You can pull the trunk up. Oh, actually they have saved a spot for the luggage screen right here, which can be applied right there to cover your luggage. And pull that up, you have some extra trunk space and compartment right up there because of this luggage screen. But this is nicely put. Look at this, how firm and strong they are. This reminds me of one of those trunk compartment and space for the Targa tops on sports coupe like Corvette and such. Nicely done. And just look how they fit flawlessly. Love that. And also the matte color is matched with the interior, so it's not that just the boring black matte. No, it's actually matched with the interior fabric as well. Power tailgate, you can open and close the car with a push of a button. Let's actually go inside and take a look at the second row too. Sunshade right there. It's not automated, but all of these we've seen it from the previous Genesis GV70, so no big deal. Just a beautiful seatbelt and interior design. And 8-ish, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's around 10 levels of inclination and declination of the second row seat, which is just perfect. And just look how laid back I am even on the second row seat of this coupe style GV70E. Quite spacious, don't worry about that much. The vent on the second row seat as well, you can control. Oh, just ambient light is all the way up to here. This is just amazing.